There was a time when Kangaskhan was a staple pick in competitive Pokemon, but today, its use rate sits lower than ever. Multiple nerfs, power creep of the following generations, and the loss of Megastones all contributed to this downfall. But Pokemon Champions has just been released, and Mega Kangaskhan has a chance to reclaim the throne it once dominated. So today, we're going to dive into the history of a Pokemon with its name in lights, build a team around it, and by the end, we'll know if Kangaskhan still has what it takes to sit at the peak of Mount Silver alongside Red. Kangaskhan released as part of the original 151. Being a rare encounter in the Safari Zone, only a small number of young trainers ever even found one, let alone actually catching one, because you could throw all the bait in the world at this thing, and still your Pokeball seemed to have a negative catch rate. And for over 15 years, it stayed this way. With the release of X and Y, Kangaskhan received an update that shook the game to its very core. Mega Evolution. Once Mega evolved, the Joey in its pouch jumps out and assists attacking alongside the parental Kangaskhan. This secondary attack would deal 50% of the initial hit damage, and it learned some pretty powerful moves to boot. Fake Out, Double Edge, and best of all, Power Up Punch, a move that gave Kangaskhan a boost to its attack stat twice. And this lasted for the 3 years of the X and Y and Omega Alpha era. Kangaskhan was a staple on many teams, and entire teams were devised just to counter this Pokemon. It was just that powerful. But a time came when Game Freak decided they had seen enough, and with the release of Sun and Moon, Power Up Punch was removed as a TM, Kangaskhan's best move taken away like it never existed. And at the exact same time, Mega Kangaskhan's ability, Parental Bond, the one that causes its Joey to jump out of his pouch, was also nerfed to only 25% of the original hit. These nerfs devastated Kangaskhan players, but it didn't stop them from playing it. They came up with new strategies to use Kangaskhan. It didn't have the impact it once did, but its presence was still well known, and it was definitely something to plan for. The final nail in the coffin was the removal of Mega Evolution with the release of Sword and Shield. And from then, Kangaskhan was only a name spoken of in legend, and forever remembered by veterans as the menace who terrorized competitive for the better part of 3 years. But now, with the release of Pokemon Champions, Mega Evolutions are back, and there's a throne that has been sitting usurped for the past 7 years. Contenders are lining up to fight for the crown, but Kangaskhan is lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike down any foe foolish enough to take the first step forward. Due to the loss of Power Up Punch, Kangaskhan has to rethink its strategy. There have been a few techniques that worked in the past, and now is no different. Scrappy to help deal with ghost types if required, and also to ignore Intimidate from our opponents. Protect for surviving turns and setting up our plays. Drain Punch for healing while threatening Dark, Steel and Rock types. Sucker Punch for priority into Ghost and Psychic types. And Double Edge for stab damage into anything else. But even the most prideful of rulers knows that to take back the throne, it can't be alone. A party will need to be formed, and every party needs a bard. The first party member to help Kangaskhan reclaim its throne is Alchemy. This little cream swirl provides the damage buff we lost from Power Up Punch through its signature move Decorate, which gives +2 to both special attack and attack. Its ability Aroma Veil protects us from Encore and Taunt, while Helping Hand makes Kangaskhan's attacks hit even harder. Encore of our own allows us to trap our opponents, and Dazzling Gleam gives us a little bit of stab damage. But Kangaskhan also knows that to take a nation, she will need a blade, one honed in the depths of Stark Mountain, a fighter that can stand against the strongest of foes. Garchomp. Garchomp is one of the strongest threats in the current format, and ours is no different. A lot of Garchomps are running a Choice Scarf set to outspeed the meta, but not ours. With the potential of a Decorate from Alchemy, our Garchomp just needs to survive. So we're running a Yachi Berry. Ice-type moves like Blizzard and Triple Axle are the biggest threats to us at the moment, so that should reduce their impact. Protect for setting up the Decorate play and stalling out turns. Dragon Claw for coverage into other dragon types, while Earthquake and Rock Rock Slide give us spread coverage into most teams. With our Bard and Fighter locked in, Kangaskhan must find a Cleric, something that can support the team, helping our leader and its minions to survive the onslaught of our opposition. And to that end, Kangaskhan recruits Sinister. With Hospitality, we can increase our team's survivability through healing on the switch-in. It also provides Rage Powder to direct attacks away from Kangaskhan, while threatening burns with Matcha Gotcha. Tech gives survivability, and Life Dew gives even more healing across the board. But there is a serious problem. With the current party composition, we are positioned for a close range confrontation. And what if our opponent has rangers lying in wait? We need a ranged carry that can deal damage from a distance. A ranger, perhaps? No, a mage. That's where Rotom Heat comes in. The ultimate mage, boasting fire, electric, and ghost magic. Powerful special attacker equipped with the Choice Scarf. Overheat deals with our weakness to Frostlass. Volt Switch for repositioning. Thunderbolt for flying and water types. And lastly, Shadow Ball for dealing to ghosts. One slot left in the party. We need to ensure that this role ties all the rest together. We have everything we need for success, but one role is yet to be filled. The role of a tank. Kangaskhan needs something it can throw into the mix and eat up hits from the opposition. Kangaskhan looks at the team and realizes it also needs experience. The entire composition has been alive for less than the pup in Kangaskhan's pouch, so it calls in a favor from an old friend, Milotic. Milotic is set up to survive. Protect and Draining Kiss give us turns where she can consistently heal and mitigate damage, as all tanks should. Milotic also has some crowd control in the form of Icy Wind and Muddy Water, reducing our opponent's speed and accuracy. The party has gathered. All eyes are focused towards earning back the throne. And with Kangaskhan at the helm, the team sets off. But before long, their first opponent shows themselves. So I think he could be playing like a Destiny Bond sort of shenanigans, but I'm not convinced of that. So what I think I might do is I might just go for the Decorate play, bring Rotom in the back, and then Sinister is pretty good here. Garchomp's pretty bloody good here too. But Milotic's also pretty good. I think I'm going to bring Garchomp in the back. So we're going to go for the Alchemy Kangaskhan lead and try and get the Decorate play off. Okay. Now we do know that that thing learns some fighting type moves, so I'm just gonna protect and set up a... Do I want to just immediately encore, or do I just want to go for a Dazzling Gleam straight away? I think I'm going Dazzling Gleam here, protecting the Kangaskhan. He also went for Detect, so was a Decorate play this turn would have been more beneficial for us. Bummer. But that is quite alright. We can bring in the Garchomp now. So if I switch into Garchomp and I go for a Decorate into the Garchomp slot, the only time this really ever hurts me is if my opponent's Klefki clicks a Dazzling Gleam or anything like that. Goes for Light Screen. There's the close combat. Not enough to pick up a KO. Rough Skin deals damage. There is our Decorate play. And we will switch in the Rotom on this side and go for an Earthquake and see if we can't pick up a KO here. He might just Detect. Oh, there's the Earthquake. Can we get the KO with this? I know he has Reflect Up, but we're +2. Ooh, couldn't quite kill the Quaquaval, even though it was minus stats due to the... Oh, the Yachi Berry. Is this gonna save our life? No, probably not. Oh, wait, it is enough. Just because we do pick up the KO due to our rough skin. Which is really, really nice. Really beneficial there. And now we're positioned really, really well. We've got... Okay, that is not going to be faster than me. And that might be faster than me, so... It could be Mega Altaria. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to protect the Garchomp this turn. And I'm just going to Volt Switch into the Altaria slot, I think. I think that Arcanine could just be using extreme speed here. So getting the Kangaskhan in could be really beneficial. But I am going to bring in Alchemy. Knew that it was extreme speed. Pretty obvious. Here's a Volt Switch. I think I can just bring in Kangaskhan now due to the fact that he might just be setting up like Tailwind. Cotton Guard, which... gives him a defense boost. Okay, and then in this slot we can switch to Alchemy and just go for the kill onto the Arcanine now. And he probably uses extreme speed again because he wants to kill off the Garchomp. He goes for Protect, okay. Double Protect, actually. Interesting. Interesting play. I don't know what he's trying to do there because he just stalled out a turn of his Reflect. Let's decorate the Kangaskhan and attack into the Arcanine. I could have gone for Dazzling Gleam here into these opponents, but I don't think Alchemy's Dazzling Gleam is going to do that much. And I don't think that our Kangaskhan is at risk of getting one shot here. I don't believe so anyway. He does go for the Flare Blitz. Please don't burn me, that would suck. Here's the Drain Punch. That's the first hit. I don't think we kill with the second hit. We don't. Do we survive this hit from Altaria? Hyper Voice. Oh, quite easily as well. There is the Decorate play. Light screen wears off. I can just use Dazzling Gleam now and protect the Kangaskhan. Because I need to see what he wants to do with Arcanine before I attack. We could go for a Sucker Punch, but if we do that, the Hyper Voice might KO us. Yeah, so he does go for Protect. We also go for Protect. There's the Hyper Voice. Not gonna kill Alchemy. There's a Dazzling Gleam into that Altaria. Does a lot of damage. So we can just click Sucker Punch and Dazzling Gleam here, and we should get the win this turn. But if not, both Rotom and Garchomp are waiting in the back to finish this off. And it looks like for the first game, we are going to take the W. There's a Hyper Voice. Oh, doesn't even KO the Kangaskhan. That sucks. And we get the win. After this first match, I'm feeling confident, but our opponent wasn't that powerful. And it has been said that pride comes before the fall. So our party must remain humble as they continue on their journey towards the throne. Okay, this looks like the Hawlucha Fisher team. So what we're gonna do is we are going to lead Rotom, and we are going to lead Garchomp, and we're going to try and kill Hawlucha straight away. Now, should he bring Abomasnow? I mean, we're always bringing Kangaskhan, and the question really is, are we bringing Sinister or Milotic in the back? Sinister is weak to nearly everything, so it's got to be Milotic. Gotta be Milotic. So the Rotom Garchomp lead is pretty good into everything that he has. We are looking to KO the Hawlucha before it has a chance to switch its ability over to Snorlax. Yep. So we just got to one-shot it here. The Choice Scarf Rotom should be fast enough to outspeed and also one-shot. And then we can just go for Protect on Garchomp just in case we are not able to get the KO in one hit, but we should be able to, because he's gonna he doesn't even go for the Mega Evolution, so not sure what the plan was for him there. So he wasn't going for the Fisher play. I thought that this was Guard Swap Fisher, but it was not, apparently. It's, I kind of want to switch Rotom out, but I also want to switch Kangaskhan out. I also want to switch Garchomp out. I think what I am doing is I am switching Kangaskhan into the Rotom slot, and I am switching Milotic into the Garchomp swap. And this is really a weird turn to go for a double switch. But at the moment, we are locked into moves we don't want to be locked into. Trailblaze into the Kangaskhan, so he gets a speed boost. Okay. Screech into the Kangaskhan. Okay. The defense drop. So I'm just going to protect. Do I protect though? Because he could just go for a grass type move into Milotic here. I don't think we'll die though. I'm going to protect. I'm going to use Icy Wind to try and get a speed drop onto the Abomasnow. There's the Ice Shard. There's our Icy Wind. It will drop the speed of my opponent. He goes for a Screech. So we know he has Ice Shard, and he's going to probably use it into that slot. So what I'll do is I'll just start dealing damage with Milotic, I think. Bring back in the Rotom. Okay, he goes for Ice Shard into Milotic. Not sure what he expected was going to happen there. Now I can fire off an Overheat into the Abomasnow. The Snorlax does go for Body Slam into the Milotic slot, which actually does a significant amount of damage and picks up a Paralysis. We do have leftovers, and I think it might be just Overheat this and protect the Milotic if I can. Couldn't move because of the Paralysis, unfortunately. We do get the Overheat off though, and that should pick up the KO, 4 times super effective into that Pokemon. And we eat a Body Slam. Does basically nothing. Kingambit is the last Pokemon on our opponent's team. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch into Garchomp here, because I do suspect that he will go for a Sucker Punch into Rotom. I do suspect that that's what's going to happen. If not, then I just misplayed this one severely. Goes for Assurance, okay. Doesn't deal much damage at all. Get a little bit of healing on the Milotic. Here's a Screech into the Milotic slot. There's the competitive boost and the leftovers. And we are going to fire off an Earthquake and hopefully get a Protect off as well here if we can. We couldn't. So we do damage our own Milotic this turn. We actually kill our own Milotic. Did we critical hit it as well? No, it was just the Screech, unfortunately. And there's a Flash Cannon that's going to deal insignificant amount of damage. There's a Double Edge that is going to chop us up. He gets a crit on that. And I will bring in Kangaskhan now to finish the fight off. The only way that he kills me here is through Sucker Punch on the Garchomp. So we will go for a Drain Punch into the King Gambit, and that will seal the deal. The Snorlax is a non-threat at the moment due to the fact that we outspeed him on every single Pokemon. And we know he has Double Edge, Screech, Body Slam, and probably Fissure as the last attack. So we're not overly concerned. He does not have Sucker Punch on the King Gambit. He doesn't even click it, which is kind of unfortunate. It means that I could have ended it this turn, but we played it safe. Better safe than sorry is what they say, and he's going to probably die to recoil. No, and that is going to seal the deal, unfortunately for him. Sorry for you, sir. I will be taking this one away. And that is GG. A more dominant victory than the first, but our opponent really failed to show their mettle, and their team was poorly constructed. If this is going to be the climb, then our ascension to the throne is all but confirmed. And then a real contender shows themselves. The next challenger is Mega Frostlass, it looks like, but it also looks like he could have a Mega Dragon Knight angle as well. So I think here the best and safest lead is Rotom and Kangaskhan together. Sinister's pretty useless. Garchomp's good and Milotic's good. Alchemy's okay into this team that he has, but I just think the problem with Alchemy is that it doesn't really do anything outside of try and set up a decorate. So I'm not going to go for it. Like Frostlass and... oh, he doesn't. Okay, so not 9 times out of 10. I'm going to go for the KO onto Garchomp here. Now, actually, hang on a second. Milotic can handle the Garchomp. So why don't I just protect and Volt Switch? Okay, so it's Choice Scarfed Garchomp, which is kind of bad for me. Hopefully we don't flinch. We do not flinch. The Dragonite takes 25%. Okay. Now he is locked into the Rock Slide, which is actually pretty good for us. And there's a Draco Meteor. So now he probably has to switch the Garchomp out because it's stuck into Rock Slide now. I can just go for Double Edge into that slot plus Icy Wind, because Icy Wind, I mean, it's 4 times super effective, so it's what, 100 base power move or something like that. Yeah, he does switch out the Garchomp. Sinister comes in. Hospitality heals Dragonite, so that is kind of unfortunate for us because now he's back with his multi-scale again. He does land the Draco Meteor. I don't know if it KOs. It does not. Special attack harshly falls. The White Herb Dragonite. It's a good strategy. It's a good strategy. The Double Edge comes out. Does not quite as much as I was hoping for here. And here's an Icy Wind. Is that going to pick up the kill on the Dragonite? It does not. The Leftovers Sinister. Now I am just going to protect the Kangaskhan this turn, and I am going to just try and fire off another Icy Wind here and see what he is going to bring in. He might also decide to protect his Dragonite and go for a Matcha Gotcha play, but he just goes for Rage Powder, probably hoping to pick up the KO on the Kangaskhan. But Milotic does just go for Icy Wind and get the kill on the Dragonite here. And that does mean we are now at risk of taking a Rock Slide or an Earthquake from the opponent's Garchomp if that's what he decides to bring out. He brings out Frostlass here, which this is really hard for us because of the fact that he can redirect our attacks away. I'm gonna use Icy Wind to just get some speed control against this. And bring in the Rotom, because Rotom can overheat. He goes for Protect. Speed drops. There's the Matcha Gotcha. That's going to hurt the Milotic quite a bit, but not massively. I think I am sacrificing the Rotom into the Sinister slot. I just need to get rid of the Sinister if I can, because Sucker Punch can take care of Frostlass for me. So I think I am sacrificing the Rotom and just continuing to fire off Icy Wind on Milotic and controlling the speed of this game. It also means if I just keep firing off Icy Wind, I'm threatening Garchomp when he switches in. Okay, that's to be expected. Now, am I going to be faster? I am Choice Scarf Rotom, but I don't know if that's actually faster than the Mega Frostlass. I'm not really concerned because I am going for the Sinister kill here. And we do pick up the kill on the Sinister. That is beautiful. We just needed to get rid of the ability for our opponent to redirect Sucker Punch away from Frostlass. That was our main concern. So now we are going to bring the Kangaskhan back into the field of play here. Knowing that he has Garchomp in the back means that I can just bring Kangaskhan in, protect, go for Icy Wind, see what he does with Frostlass, and then go for a Sucker Punch play and finish off his Garchomp without the Garchomp of our own. So we are going to go for another Icy Wind here. Get the control over the speed of the Garchomp. Frostlass may use Protect, it may not. It may use Aurora Veil. I'm not sure, we'll wait and see here. He goes for Stomping Tantrum, so he is going for the kill into the Milotic. It's not quite enough. The Blizzard comes out. Will this kill? It's not very effective. It does not. Can we land the hit in? How unlucky is that, man? How unlucky is that? Okay, anyway, so let's just double it. Let's just go for this, and let's just hope we can get a protect off. I mean, otherwise we're just cooked. Ooh, we get the sucker punch, which does not even kill the Frostlass, dude. Oh, it's so Jova now. I mean, talk about RNG, bro. That is some serious RNG right there. Okay. So to pick up the win here, he's locked into Stomping Tantrum. We know for a fact that we are gonna get dusted up big time by this blizzard. We do have a Yachi Berry to try and reduce the impact, but I don't think it's going to be enough with Stomping Tantrum and Blizzard at the same time. The Rough Skin, unless we pick up the kill first, there's the Earthquake. Oh my lordy. It does massive damage on his Garchomp, and we are going to pick up the win as long as he doesn't crit. As long as he doesn't critical hit us. He did critical hit, and we still survived with 1 HP. That's absolutely unbelievable how unlucky we are and how lucky we got to survive. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. The winds kept flowing, and it was like there was no way to stop our perfectly constructed party. No matter the opponent, Kangaskhan and friends continued to decimate any foe who dared step foot in their path. Until finally, at the peak of Mount Silver, the final contender was lying in wait. It looks like Mega Dragonite here with a Cheludon. So I think Milotic is pretty good here. I think letting Milotic and Kangaskhan together is a pretty comfortable play. Bringing Rotom is also pretty good for helping to deal with the Cheludon and Pelipper and Basculegion and Sinistra. So actually, maybe I just lead Rotom, Milotic, Kangaskhan in the back, and then for dealing with anything else, I think I might bring Sinistra. I might be leaving Garchomp and Alchemy behind here. Yeah, I think this is the best I can do here. Dragonite, Sneasler. Okay, so do I want to go for Icy Wind? Because that will unburden his Sneasler. I think I do. And I'm going to Volt Switch into the Dragonite just to try and break his multi-scale. I do think I'm getting fake outed on the Rotom slot here, and I might just be losing Rotom this turn. Oh, it's actually the Milotic that takes the hit, so break the multi-scale. Bring in the Sinistra. Oh, we do just eat a Dragon Pulse. Does basically nothing. What am I doing here? Am I going for an Icy Wind? It's not going to deal that much damage, but it will put me ahead on the speed. I'm probably just going Life Dew as well. So he withdraws the Sneasler. He is going for a Hurricane here, it looks like. He's not. He's just bringing in the Cheludon. So there's the Icy Wind, and that is going to give me the speed advantage. He's getting a defense boost, but whatever. Here's a life dew to heal back from the Dragon Pulse. A Chaludon does have leftovers. He's going to be pretty hard to deal with. He is going to go for probably an Electro Shot here. He probably just goes Electro Shot and Hurricane. I believe we can survive the Electro Shot. I believe we can survive the Electro Shot. Come on, can we get a burn? Did a lot to the Pelipper. Maybe I should have gone for the kill on the Pelipper. We do not get a burn. He goes for the Tailwind, actually. So I should have just gone Rage Powder here. Wait, he targeted into the Sinister, actually. So it's just not a problem at all. We will go for the Rage Powder play now. Maybe I should have just gone for a Draining Kiss into the Pelipper. No, he is still faster than me. Even though he's got 2 speed drops, he is still faster than me under Tailwind. Here's the Electro Shot. I don't know if we survive this Electro Shot though. That's sort of the big problem now. Yeah, we just not strong enough. Ooh, now we're in danger territory. Okay, Kangaskhan and Rotom, what can you do for me, boys? Oh, I do just have to go for the kill into the Chaludon here and just ignore the Pelipper. I gotta hope that I can get maybe a critical hit on the Drain Punch, but I've just boosted this thing's defense so much. Yeah, I don't know. The only time I can win this is if I critically hit on the Drain Punch. I didn't. And I think that's gonna seal the game. We did survive with a very minute amount of health, so I think I'm going to attack here, and I'm going to try and KO the Pelipper at the same time. Because I do know, obviously I'm faster than the Chaludon, I could still KO it with a critical hit. There is the possibility here that if we crit, we can KO the Chaludon. It's not all over yet. But it's pretty close. It's pretty darn close. Can we get a crit? We cannot, unfortunately, and that is going to seal the game. And that thing's like max defense, pretty much max special attack now. Yeah, and I just don't think it's going to be possible for Rotom to 1v3 here. While locked into Shadow Ball, because I just get fake out it. Yeah, it's over. In the end, this team really did a number on a lot of the current threats within the format. There's no denying that. But when all is said and done, and the dust has settled, there will always be an opponent or two who can outposition or outperform Kangaskhan. And if we're being honest, Kangaskhan didn't make it to the peak of the mountain alone. She did it alongside her friends. And maybe that's the lesson here, that no matter what Pokemon you want to play, there will always be a way to make it work. It might not win every match, but what fun would there be in a world where winning was a certainty? Hey guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what Pokemon you'd like to see next. Additionally, we're pushing to reach 1,000 subscribers on the channel by the end of the month, so please consider subscribing if you're enjoying the content. It means a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.